For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
What are you having for lunch today? Backs? Well, we'll hear all about backs during the course of our broadcast this afternoon. Instructing reporters, you know how to conduct yourselves during a press conference where the Prime Minister of St. Lucia is at the lectern. And also coming up in the broadcast, a particular bishop takes issue with the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court and as it strikes down laws on gay sex. All that and more between now and 2 o'clock this afternoon, right here on the most monitored talk show in the world. Today we call it NewsSpin. And it's on Power 97.9 FM. It's on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel. And we'll be taking your calls at 452-2979. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages. 716-2026. 716-2026, and Amanda will be going through some of your comments in the chat room and will be providing you with some updates. Also, we'll be hearing this track. Reference was made to it yesterday about Ted Kal. I heard it a few days ago but did not pay much attention. So now that you made formal reference to it on the program yesterday, I want to give it a second listen and we'll be playing it during the course of our broadcast today. Hope you're having yourself an enjoyable Tuesday and you're getting all set to deal with the realities of life in St. Lucia and indeed around the world. So, this situation involving the disappearance of critical evidence. You have the disappearance of a noose, disappearance of evidence in a matter pertaining to the murder of Kimberly DeLeon, and that homicide occurred in 2018. And Shakadan Daniel, he was found hanging in his cell in 2013, 12 years, almost 12 years now, it's October of that year. Almost 12 years now, and no resolution. But according to the outcome of an inquest, his death was deemed to be a result of unlawful police killing. And every day, we clamor on this broadcast for justice. And you yourself, from time to time, when the need arises, you do likewise. And very often you hear from the police that investigations are still ongoing, still collecting evidence. And we have to send samples there, here, and everywhere to be as thorough as possible. And whenever the authorities, that will include government officials and government ministers and the police, would tell you, be patient, as we heard a few weeks ago from our police commissioner, you know that you're in this for an eternity, not even the long haul, for an absolute eternity. And you cannot blame the so-called ordinary members of our society, the citizens, those who have no confidence in the judiciary and police, etc., because they have been there before, more than most people. They're arrested, hauled before the courts, can't afford an attorney, and they are placed on remand forever. Eventually, they are released after spending an inordinate period on remand. And what kind of compensation you think they would get? If anything at all. You're free to go. And that's it. And when those people speak, they're speaking with a certain level of authority. So what they call NewsSpin, and they want to provide us with the version of their unvarnished truth. And I have a tendency to try to ask them to curtail whatever they want to speak about. And we're urging them to be cautious, but they have a particular experience and they want to share it. And they want to tell you that this system is corrupt. And they experience it almost on a daily basis. But we have to be extremely careful, because you know, out of spite, some people just want to embarrass you, take you to court. It drags. Have an attorney. If you can afford one, you have to expend thousands upon thousands of dollars to get justice in this part of the world. And that is why, much to the disappointment of some religious leaders in St. Lucia, the ordinary folks, those who have just resigned in themselves to accepting things as they are, would tell you, I leave this to God. I put this in the hands of God, and God will deal with it. But God has put in place the various systems through man to deal with such issues, and not wait for an eternity or wait forever, and allow people to get away with illegality, with wickedness. There is a process. The guy was found hanging in a cell. You have all the critical evidence. The noose is there, safeguarded. Supposed to be in an exhibit room. The abuse word mechanisms, all the mechanisms are in place to deal with issues of that nature. Yet still, blatantly, there is the abuse, and from top to bottom, you hear people telling you that, rest assured, I will not stand for this, and I'll work diligently and assiduously towards rectifying that particular problem. And you already never went to law school, but you know how this will end. You know the outcome. So let's take you back to 9 years ago. At the height of all the court proceedings and the frustrations being felt by the family of Shakadan Daniel. And we like to look at certain sections of our society. People who have excelled in certain areas, and they are deemed to be prominent people, educated people, PSCs, and people who have doctorates, as those people are worthy of our respect in this country. Well, let's listen to Frances Daniel, the mother of Shakadan Daniel, reliving an experience of some 9 years ago. And she spoke during a particular television interview. I think it was DBS television. And her comments extracted from a particular report of 9 years ago. This is Frances Daniel, the mother of Shakadan Daniel.
Yesterday, me and my daughter came to town to check on the Commissioner of Police, the Attorney General, and the DPP in checking on about the case of Shakadan Daniel. After the inquest was given, they said they found them for unlawfully killing Shakadan Daniel. I'm not seeing nothing happening. The police said they're watching me. I see them in my place. Some of them bend down their head when they're watching when I reach by me, and the other one shouting me, calling my name. So I said, let me go to the commercial. When I went there yesterday, when I reached at a security place where you go in before to see the Commissioner of Police, I saw the murderer right there in the security place to the Commissioner of Police office. Me and my daughter, I jumped. I was scared and jumped, and I watched my daughter watched me, and I couldn't talk. Yesterday, me and my daughter came to town to check on the Commissioner of Police, the Attorney General, and the DPP in checking on about the case of Shakadan Daniel. After the inquest was given, they said they found them for unlawfully killing Shakadan Daniel. I'm not seeing nothing happening. The police said they're watching me. I see them in my place. Some of them bend down their head when they're watching when I reach by me, and the other one shouting me, calling my name. So I said, let me go to the commercial. When I went there yesterday, when I reached at a security place where you go in before to see the Commissioner of Police, I saw the murderer right there in the security place to the Commissioner of Police office. Me and my daughter, I jumped. I was scared and jumped, and I watched my daughter watched me, and I couldn't talk.
Frances Daniel speaking some 9 years ago, and she is the mother of Shakadan Daniel. So if you want to be a member of parliament, elected member of parliament at that, if you want to be the prime minister of this country, obviously, I am assuming it's because you want to effect change. You want to ensure that you put an end to that kind of injustice. Is that what it's all about? Or it's all about the power? Minister of this and minister of that, and prime minister, minister with responsibility for national security, for youth development, social transformation. We hear this, social transformation. But what does it amount to? How have you impacted the lives of people like Mary Williams in A Search for Justice and Frances Daniel? Those people are at your mercy. And what you're doing is maintaining the status quo because it is not affecting you. And you realize in some instances, when laws affect powerful people in this country, prominent people in this country, what happens? The laws are amended. The full weight of the various arms of the government are being utilized so that powerful people can benefit. But in such instances, when you're talking about ordinary people in our country, it's like a recurring decimal. And next week, something will happen involving a poor male, and the mother will suffer the same fate. And it's only because of the determination of people like Francis Daniel and Mary Williams we are still focusing on this issue. This is front and center. This is prominent before the people of this country because it involves prominent people. It involves people who are relentless in their pursuit for justice. So let's listen to the reaction from the Prime Minister and National Security Minister reacting to a question posed to him yesterday during the pre-cabinet press briefing. Now, he had to be prompted. A question had to be posed to him to address that issue. And if you take time off your busy schedule to listen to the pre-cabinet press briefing, a little over 20 minutes, he started with a few statements. Talk about creating unemployment benefits because his aim is to remain in power. His aim is to capture certain sections of the society, those people who are unemployed and they're not getting benefits and so on, impress those people. And then he opens the floor for questions. And then the question was posed to him regarding the missing evidence, disappearance of the noose, among other things, in that vital case involving Shaka Daniel and the other matter involving Kimberly De Leon. It did not occur to the Prime Minister and Minister with responsibility for national security to address this issue from the outset. Here's the Prime Minister and National Security Minister.
I expect the police to leave no stone unturned to find what really went wrong. It's not the best news, but I expect the police, as I said, I expect the police to use all the investigative powers to see how these exhibits disappeared. I want to express again my condolences to the relatives of people who lost their lives. And that happened when I was not Minister of National Security. There was a Minister of National Security at the time. So it's very concerning, and I hope the police leave no stone unturned. It can't be a cold case. That can't be treated as a cold case. It must be. We must find ways and means. The police must use all the investigative powers at their disposal to see how they can get to the bottom of that situation. But very concerning to me, and should be concerning to the entire country. Should be. So we hope that we get some resolution.
All you can do as a concerned citizen is shake your head. When the Prime Minister says to you, the incidents occurred when I was not Minister of National Security, that matters. People are aware. One incident occurred in 2013. The other one occurred in 2018. We don't know when the evidence went missing. And, well, I mean, we're supposed to be concerned about it, but if you tell me that the evidence went missing last year, I don't think that's anything to do with UWP or SLP. Irrelevant detail, according to a certain individual. We can't preoccupy ourselves whether you were National Security Minister or not. You are the National Security Minister as we speak. You are in the seat right now holding that position. And people have been calling on the Prime Minister to relieve himself of that portfolio. The Prime Minister has to do his own introspection to determine whether he is the man for the job of National Security Minister. Safeguarding our safety, our own interest, safeguarding the security of the state, whether he is the man for the job. And so at that same press conference, at the commencement, let's listen to the press secretary to the Prime Minister, Melissa Paul.
I'd like us to observe a few housekeeping rules. 2 questions per reporter, and you are allowed 2 rounds. And also, let's us also remember this is the Prime Minister, and let us address him with the utmost respect. I'd like us to observe a few housekeeping rules. 2 questions per reporter, and you are allowed 2 rounds. And also, let us also remember this is the Prime Minister, and let us address him with the utmost respect. I'd like us to observe a few housekeeping rules. 2 questions per reporter per round, and you are allowed 2 rounds. And also, let us also remember this is the Prime Minister, and let us address him with the utmost respect.
So you first have to bow, because the Prime Minister is the king. You bow. Tremendous respect. I mean, all the reporters, all of us, we know how to conduct ourselves. Very respectful individuals. There's no need to say that treat the Prime Minister with respect. I mean, it does not make sense at all. This is nonsense. Treat the Prime Minister with respect. We are all, I think most of us in this country, are very, very respectful. To the extent that we tolerate a lot. If we were in a different country, a lot of people have gotten disrespected. But thank God for, who we are as a people in terms of our behavior, in terms of our deportment. Most, not all, most of us in St. Lucia are respectful. Want to attend any press conference, and for anybody, the press secretary and the master of ceremonies, etc., to say, please be respectful. That is necessary. That is warranted. It's not. Anyway, this law, the Buggery and Indecency Law, deemed unconstitutional. We'll hear now from the leader on this. Bishop Thomas Ariste came across this particular statement about 8 minutes long, but we have condensed it to play the relevant part, because he's asking questions now of the authorities. Whether you're going to challenge that law, asking questions of the Attorney General and even the leader of the parliamentary opposition.
I want to ask the Attorney General a question. Will he or his office appeal the case? Was that his best team of lawyers? Were they very serious about defending this? I ask the politicians a question. What will they do? Are they for that law? Or are they against it? I want the Prime Minister to answer. I want the leader of the opposition to answer as well. The judge in his ruling said, it's their rights. It's their human right to have sex with whosoever they want, as long as they are over the age of 16, consenting adults. That's what the judge ruled. It's their right. It's not a right to do evil. It's not a right to kill somebody because they consent. It's not a right to lie. It's not a right to steal. You have an ability to do it, but it should not be given to you as a right. And if it is a right, then the state should have a right to judge those who do evil. And if it is a right for them to abuse, 2 men to abuse each other with consent. At times these abuses are so serious, friends, you don't know. After a while you have to put pampers. Because the bowels can stay inside of them. I'm talking facts. However, if it is their right, what comes next? Think about it. If it is a right, therefore it's their right to marry. It's a right. And if it is a right, maybe they would ask Bishop Aristide to marry them. And maybe there will be a law that ministers of government should. It's their right. Well, maybe not so, Pastor. You're taking this thing too far. But if it's a right, how far will that right go? Will it be their right to marry their dog? To have sex with their dog in their privacy? It's their dog. And it's their right. And it's in their house. I'm just asking you to think about it. Well, not you, Mr. Innocent. I say so much for now. I shall wheel and come again. Amen. And when I come again, I'll not come again that easy. I'm hoping to hear something from our politician. Yes, I'm hoping to hear something from our Attorney General office.
Well, the government will follow the dictates of the court. And if you realize that we've always said, and all that, when there was all that confusion about the RICO case, we always said that's for the courts. That's always been our position. We mustn't forget our positions. During the RICO case, when anybody tell me, when anybody said, do this, I said, let's wait for the courts. And as far as that's regard, the government will respect the rulings of the courts. And the Attorney General will take the steps that are necessary to ensure that the ruling of the courts takes place.
The island's Prime Minister and Minister with responsibility for national security, Philip J. Pierre. Before that, you heard from Bishop Thomas Aristide. I think this precedent where such an outcome of a court case can be challenged by the state. Because earlier this year, the Trinidad and Tobago Supreme Court overturned the 2018 High Court judgment to remove its burglary laws. Campaigners have expressed concern about the country's case, which will go before the Privy Council in London, the final court of appeal for UK overseas territories and some Commonwealth countries. One of the issues, they say, is a savings clause, a legal technicality created to protect colonial laws. Now, I don't know if the government of St. Lucia can challenge this ruling by taking it to the Caribbean Court of Justice, our highest court of last resort. Let's take your calls right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And I must confess, I have so many of your WhatsApp messages that I've not been able to read over the last few weeks. They are in the dozens. Somebody says there by WhatsApp, one decision I knew for sure and anticipated would happen by this administration was the decriminalization of the same-sex laws. We are raising two sons and are extremely concerned as to the path that we decide to tread upon. Have you ever listened to the way our ministers speak, or some of our ministers speak? But this does not have anything directly to do with the government. It has everything to do with the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. While we wait your calls, let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there, these guys are learning from Donald Trump. Treat them as kings. Authoritarianism is coming. And another WhatsApp message. The reporter should have told him the evidence went missing under his watch as National Security Minister. And some more of your WhatsApp messages. Who will guard the guards? It's no surprise. Well. This is St. Lucia, where the people who choose to take care of the country's affairs can do whatever they please and get away with it. Shaking my head. The person continues, when the head is crooked, don't expect the tail to be straight. And we have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon.
Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
You know, I cannot believe what I'm hearing. Are we taking God's word for a joke? Are we taking God for a puppy show? Which I know we cannot, because God is a serious God. And He put laws in place that we have to follow. But when the court have ruled that it's okay for man to have sex with man, women can have sex with women. I mean, it has been happening even before the court gives them the okay. But I want to ask the question, what's next? So soon, men will be able to marry to men in St. Lucia, women be able to marry with women. Don't run away from that, you know. That's coming. And when things are happening, when people getting killed, hurricanes are striking St. Lucia, killing how many people? People are saying, oh, pray Dieu, bye mon Dieu kay sauve nous from hurricane. You know, it's becoming a joke. St. Lucians, I'm not talking about no other place. That's where I'm from. Although I'm in America, but I'm listening to what's going on in St. Lucia. You cannot capture God. God is not a nonsense God. So those people, you see that rights thing? This is BS. Okay? God created a man and a woman. And He said, have sex and multiply. Okay, a man cannot carry a baby. When two women have sex with each other, they cannot get pregnant. It has to take a man and a woman. Now, I think it's the time for that nonsense to stop. Stop it. If not, St. Lucia will suffer the consequences. Have a nice day, Timothy.
You too, sir. Thank you so much for calling all the way from Pennsylvania. As we continue to take your calls once again at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a call on the landline. We'll go to that call right now. Good afternoon, NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Timothy, a pleasant good afternoon to you and your listeners all over the world. PW on the line. Timothy?
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Timothy, why don't the government come to tell us that they are receiving pressure from outside forces to deal with the matter of when it comes to the gay rights? This is all what is happening, Timothy. The outside pressure is upon us. And we are going to submit to it. We are going to surrender. The government need to tell us. But a lot of people know what's happening. There are other laws and, things we have to deal with. Why this is the time to deal with such issues? And the pressure is on us. We have to do like the Jamaicans. Do not bow to outside pressure. We need to at least, we live in a different country. Our culture is different. The outside pressures don't go to Saudi Arabia. It don't go to, countries like United Arab Emirates to tell them about the gay rights, but they want to tell the African countries and the America and the Caribbean countries that they have to deal with that issue, as soon as possible. But Timothy, this is not all what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about St. Lucians need to be protected from the criminals and from the police. As you know, these days, everybody is exonerated. Another exoneration is coming for Shagadan Daniel, because evidence have been tampered with, evidence have been taken from the armory. I listened to your professional yesterday. He dealt with how the armory is operated. You don't come in there, you have to stay a number of feet away from there. Then you have to sign for exhibits. You have to do all of these things. But yet still evidence gone missing. Are you saying to me, because a noose is missing, Timothy, that somebody cannot be prosecuted for this particular crime? Are you saying that to me? It's more than 10 years, I suppose. This case is lingering. You believe now the police is going to get at least other evidence to arrest and charge somebody? I don't want to believe that. Similarly, there are many cases where the murder weapon is not found. But even the body is not found. And yet, the prosecution have a conviction of that person. So even the noose is missing. If there is enough evidence so we can charge somebody, we need to do that. We need to do that. Because you and I know, you understand, and as I have said, at times a murder weapon is missing, the body is missing, and yet still people are found guilty. St. Lucians, be smart, be wise, look for the truth, and be just. Timothy, I thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. We have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says, as a concerned citizen, the Roseau Highway has a matter that needs to be addressed. There needs to be reflective signs at the end of that highway heading to Ancillary. Yes, there is a sign indicating that there is a corner, but that's not enough. Round that corner needs something to show. Next thing, the Ancillary Canaries Road is in perfect condition presently. We need a number of barriers on the right side of that road. It is very dangerous. Good afternoon to you, Amanda. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, team. Good afternoon, News Spinners. A few comments from the chat room team. And News Spinner says, Reverend God, I hope that you have the vocation likened to that of hell for your incompetence in those cases. At a time like that, you retreat to vacation. A comment here reads, and so the ordinary folks continue to get the bullet to their heads, according to Rick Wayne. A News Spinner says, their justice will not be served until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are. Benjamin Franklin. Another comment here reads, how long has the Commissioner of Police, the DPP and others in command staff at the RSLPF known about the missing evidence? Someone says here, I heard PJP said that he wasn't Minister of National Security when that happened. PJP doesn't know that he should not have said that. So when he is no longer Prime Minister, what will happen to the killings that were done during his time? A comment here reads, Shakadan's dad has passed away and this will end up as an iceberg cold case. Miss Mary Williams and the family of Shakadan, we apologize for a failed justice system. A News Spinner says there justice for Daniel, justice for the Leo, justice for Officer Tyson. A comment here reads, he was not Prime Minister when the Grozile Highway was started, he stopped it. He wasn't Prime Minister when HIA started, what did he do? He was not Prime Minister when the Talvin development started, what did he do? This guy needs his head examined. Another comment here reads, there we go again, the blame game once again. Someone says there's no need No, we need external intervention. And Mr. Prime Minister, don't smile. This is not a joke. Someone says that he always throws the police under the bus. By the time he leaves office, we will not have a police force. Someone says respect is earned. A comment here reads, so many things are happening in this country and I never hear pastors come out with such conviction. Shake my head. A NewsSpinner says if the pastor questioned the competence of the government's representative in defending or responding to the case on the criminalization of the burglary laws, but this went over Pierre's head as usual. And the comment here reads, the court makes decisions based on the representations made by the parties before it, so it's not the court that has decided the case on its own. The point is that the AG's office did not provide a contrary view to what the claimants were saying. Once again, that office has failed the people of this country. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Some comments via YouTube. Somebody says that the fox is guarding the hen house. Justice for Shakadan Daniel. Another one says there was PGP alive when Nelson Mandela visited St. Lucia. Why, therefore, his balderdash about Tinubu? And let's see there if we have another WhatsApp message. Tim, why Flo not telling you when they're taking internet, but everything they're telling you, your bill overdue for payment, or every time they're telling you your bill is overdue for payment. Another WhatsApp message. Does any media house see comments from the opposition on the different comments and pronouncements made by the Prime Minister? The news media is to me mainly reporting the views and actions of the Prime Minister. This is critical, particularly with elections around the corner. A call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Mr. Tim, I have a message for Mr. Vengard. He is the commissioner, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I remember I was watching a clip with Mr. Vengard, and he come on the mic and singing a rap song, like a song, his own song. I never heard a commissioner do that. Instead, you come and put your feet down and put a voice out. You come in for a song singing. And now, later on, you're talking about evidence missing. Who does that? And after that, now you're feeling so embarrassed, you're going on vacation. You know what I mean? It's time for those in high authority stop those games and respect we St. Lucians. Not because you're in high authority. You're there watching you on a clip, how much people with khaki clothes and you on a mic and come in and sing a song. Man, see that there, Mr. Vengard. You get my point. You should have put your feet down and determine what's going on. And you're singing a song in people's head now, talking about documents missing. And I have another message I was sending for Mr. Sean Edwards. Mr. Sean Edwards, I remember you said on a clip again, the Prime Minister is the best Prime Minister in the Caribbean. According to Mr. Richard, you need to eat your vomit back. You know why? You find the world, the whole Caribbean and the world was talking about Alan Michael Shasney when he was Prime Minister in time of COVID. Those men or Prime Minister you could put on the front page and say, they is the best. You get my point? So stop playing them politics in people's head. And another one again to you, Mr. Sean Edwards. I hear you on a clip again saying, yes, by Pakavini Tima Gvedma. Mr. Sean Edwards, as a man that holding the Ministry of Education, you shouldn't say that. The people that will decide that, my brother. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if it's because of your opponent giving you nightmares, you come in and talk them crap talk. And we St. Lucian people, we have seen what the Labour Party have done to us. Keep on feeling us. Still the Prime Minister say, he'll feel sorry for, I don't know, he was saying that. Mr. Prime Minister will say it over and over. I don't believe there is nobody in St. Lucia that hates you. They don't like your performance. You need to buckle up. And you can't blame people, Mr. Prime Minister. You was the one. And open your mouth and say on NewsSpin, you is the most ready. Okay.
Well, he made a comment. He made a comment on Newsmaker Live, not on NewsSpin. Newsmaker Live.
On Newsmaker Live. Sorry about that. You is the most ready. Now, let me say I have my son going to school. And exam coming. And he telling me, Daddy, I'm the most bright student in the class. And when I see exam come, he getting a 30% or a 40 marks, I will get upset. So you have to blame yourself, Prime Minister, Mr. Pierre. When you say that you're the most ready and people see you not performing, pressure will build up on you, my brother. I'm not your supporter, and I've talked to some not supporting you, but I don't hate you. I hate your performance. Maybe if you was performing, maybe I would have voted for you. You get my point? So I don't hate you to say as a human being. We hate your performance. Get it right, Mr. Pierre. Have a wonderful day, Mr. Tim.
You too, sir, and thank you so much for calling. Let's see if we can take another call. Hello, good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller. All right. Next time, turn down the volume of your radio, whatever device you are using to listen to the broadcast, because it's irritating, that feedback that we normally hear when you do not adhere to the rules. Okay, so please, when you're calling this broadcast, turn down the volume of whatever device you are using to listen to the program. Let's take 452-2979. We have a call. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, a message for the Prime Minister. What? Richard opened his mouth and said he has a file upon file. File is missing. Why the Prime Minister is not asking Richard about the files? Files is missing. Why is he not asking Richard about the files? Richard knows about the files that are missing him.
Caller, files are not missing, you know. A noose is missing. I don't know with regard to the Kimberly homicide what exactly is missing.
Richard knows about it.
No. We can't say that, caller. What we know is a noose is missing in the case of Shaka Dan,
yes,
and some other material is missing with regard to Kimberly De Leon. But we don't and nothing about missing files.
That man said, Tim, that man said he has a file high as that to him. That man knows about it. Prime Minister, ask Richard about it.
Okay, caller.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. But we know nothing about missing files based on what we heard from the island's police commissioner. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. We'll be hearing from Bax in just a moment.
Carnival just got crunchier with KFC. It's time to fet, win, and feast with the Carnival Crunch Box. For just $30, get a Big Crunch or Zinger sandwich, 3 crunchy strips, a dipping sauce, regular fries, a 16-ounce soda, and a biscuit. But wait, that's not all. Every Carnival Crunch Box gives you a chance to win big. Promotion runs June 1st to July 20th. KFC, it's finger lick good.
Do whatever that crunch you want.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbouté at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilec averti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone ça là. Mi un petit commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Couiller Lucilec avant ou trim et ben couper pied bois qui pouet ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outils ou ka servi pas vini moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
In the blink of an eye, disaster can strike. Are you ready? When the winds rage and the rain pours, will you be prepared? Don't let the next hurricane catch you off guard. At M&C Home Depot and Sunbelt, we understand the importance of preparation. From generators to plywood, we have everything you need to weather the storm. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit M&C Home Depot and Sunbelt today and make sure your family is safe and secure this hurricane season. Play it safe. Get prepared.
Flo's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or larger. activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
At La Clinique de Corps, your health comes first with St. Lucia's only advanced 1.5 Tesla MRI, delivering safe, radiation-free imaging aligned with World Health Organization and international standards. Not sure if you need an MRI, CT, or ultrasound? Our expert in-house doctors guide you so you get the right scan the first time. One accurate scan can change everything. Your peace of mind starts here. Get $50 off all consultations with our doctors now through July 31st. We're UHC approved and accept all major insurances. Visit us in Castries or Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps. Advanced care, local access, your health reimagined.
Essie, don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Chivi's Tire Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Chivi's Tire Shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall Building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your wallet. Let's go.
Chivi's Tire Shop, located at the American Drywall Building, Vic Bouteille. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Chivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
At First National Bank, we believe being first means putting you first. Your first home? We've got the mortgage. Starting your first business? Count on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first car? Drive it home today. Heading to college? Let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First in service, first in trust, first for you. Call us at 455-7000 or visit your nearest First National Bank branch today so we can help put you first. First National Bank, here for you.
That's gone for 6. The Republic Bank CPL is here and the biggest party in sport just got bigger. This August, all roads lead to Darren Sammy Cricket Ground as the St. Lucia Kings light up the island with 5 explosive home games from August 23rd to 31st. Every 6, every wicket, every roar from the crowd is a shot of pure Caribbean adrenaline. So grab your tickets now at cplt20.com or at your local box office. It's time to turn up for the biggest party in sport.
Thank you so much for staying with the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called, today we call it NewsSpin. Got travel plans? Don't let paperwork slow you down. The briefcase is making applications for passports and visas faster, easier, and stress-free. We have now moved to the Chanel's Plaza upstairs next to the DHL office. Whether it's your first passport or a renewal, we've got you covered. We also assist with applications for police records, U.S. visa applications, birth certificates, and business registration. Come see us upstairs, Chanel's Plaza, next to the DHL office today. Call 718-8624. That is 718-8624 or 713-7503. 713-7503 to book. No lines, no hassle, just expert help right when you need it. The briefcase. And your journey starts right here. Sorry for this inconvenience there. Also, this month, La Clinique de Corps is offering a $50 discount on all doctors' consultations. This month, La Clinique de Corps is offering a $50 discount on all doctor consultations. Visit us today and take advantage of this promotion. Don't miss it. Good afternoon to you, Amanda. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room.
Tim and NewsSpin says here in a civilized society, the entire department would be on leave. How many people man the armory and evidence rooms? A commentary reads, the people of this country needs to know whether the AG's office was under strict instructions not to defend the claim, and who gave those instructions, or whether it was just a case of incompetence from the office of the AG. Someone replied to this saying it is the responsibility of the government's AG to protect and defend the interests of the public. Have you factored that into your thoughts on the matter? A NewsSpinner says, if you need a law to tell you how intimate and what sex or partner you can have in the privacy of your own home, then something is not right. Remember that God does not destroy, it's our disobedience that destroys us. And not because something is legal that makes it right. And the truth does not depend on consensus of options. Commentary reads, why blame the government for an interest group question and challenging the constitutionality of a particular provision within the Constitution? Someone says here, the press conference with Vanguard, the officers responsible for the Armory and Evidence Department should be on leave pending an investigation. Yan and Harvey were transferred and sent on leave for less. A commentary reads, Shagadan's dad. Okay, I read that already. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Let's hear from an individual. He wants to become the next MP for Castries North. And his well-known nickname, his sobriquet, is Bax, better known, and his Christian name, of course, is Michael Steed, better known as Bax.
My name is Marcellus Steed. Most of you know me as Bax, proud Leclerc boy. I have a passion for sports, business, and community service. I want to be part of the radical change that we desperately need in our community, Castries North. That is why I'm running in the next general election as an independent candidate.
All right, so Michael Steed, better known as Bax, will be contesting the Castries North seat as an independent candidate. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Timothy.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Amanda.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to all St. Lucia and all the others in the diaspora, every listener. I am concerned. Where are we heading to as St. Lucians? Are we going forward or are we going against God? Because what I am hearing there is outrageous. We believe that God is a man. And when God speaks, we can turn it to suit ourselves or we can polish it. But I want us to know as a people, we said we are a nation under God. We cannot tell us we have a constitution against homosexuality and lesbianism. Because the so-called American man came to St. Lucia, president of Pride, years ago, a couple of months or last year there, or early this year, that it is okay now for us to go and change our laws to suit them in their corruption. So when God judge in America, we're looking for St. Lucia to be judged too, eh? I have myself here, I have my children, I have my family here. I do not want to suffer because of other people's choices. And what is bad, we have people in the religious sector that should know better come in and try to pacify homosexuality for us. Okay, when a man steals, we put him in jail when we catch him. And we say, oh, you steal, you break the law. But we have been hiding these laws that is against witchcraft because now people promote witchcraft, advertise witchcraft on our stations, and it's okay. We promote homosexuality because we want to fit in with the larger nations of the world. But when the backside gets in fire, we don't want to be a part of it. We are against homosexuality and lesbianism. How can I look at my daughter and tell her it is okay for her to be with another woman? Isn't killing my lineage? When a man go and interfere with another man, is he carrying on the lineage of his family? That's what sex was ordained for. That a man can procreate and make after his kind. Okay, we'll say, okay, it's okay. But God condemned it. In the book of Revelation, God condemned it. God condemned it in Romans chapter 1, verse 22 and 28. He said, because they refuse, after they knew God, the power of God, they turn man using man and woman using woman. God says he's against it. It's an abomination. He said it in the Old Testament as well. Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 22. He said, if a man is caught with another man, having what they should have between woman and man, he said it is an abomination and they should be put to death. Romans and in the book of Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13, he said these two should be put to death and that they will erase the abomination among them because he doesn't want it among his people. God condemn it. Who am I to side with it? If God condemn it, I cannot agree with it. And no pastor, no priest should come and pacify such behavior. It should never be removed. It should never be condoned in our constitution. Because when our leaders pacify such things and go against God, they're causing all of us to suffer. Mr. Japierre should never tamper with that law. As a matter of fact, he should enforce it even more. But now he's saying it's okay for a man to have sex with another man. It is okay because it's their choice. So should I suffer for their choices? When God judging a nation based on the decisions of their head, their leaders, he's not saying, okay, these are not in it and these are in it. Everybody paying for it. I don't want to suffer because of them. I condemn that move. Okay? That's why we have to get him out. You legalize the marijuana. Who want to smoke, smoke. Now you're finding people coming and they're smoking among other people that not smoking, transferring secondhand smoke and causing people to get lung disease. Because why? They have their choice to smoke it. Okay, fine. But you should have your place. Know your place. You can come on a bus smelling marijuana and it's okay. Fine. It's your choice. But you don't tell me I'm going to pass a law to legalize it for you. And you telling me you're homosexual, it's okay now for you to be free to do what you please. It's not against the law. I'm telling us in St. Lucia, if we do not do what is right, God will judge us as a people. You see what he give Dominica down there? We will get worse. We will get worse. But I believe God, he will preserve his children. But I am putting out my voice today. I am against that change of judgment. I am against it. Now too, that Shaka and Daniel thing, they have been going on for far too long. As a matter of fact, when you have such sensitive documents and information, shouldn't it be with the higher ups and secured from other police on lower rank? Because nowadays it seems like people doing things for a court. People doing anything and you think the police is exempted, they are human. They're not different, they're just serving us as a people and they wear the uniform and all of that. But the police can be tempted. So why have such sensitive documents so in a place where others have access to it? One person in the higher up or two should be responsible for this document and should also be on heavy guard. Nobody should be able to have access to it as they want. So it's time for these things to stop in St. Lucia. Our police officers must recognize they are serving the people and not themselves. They are serving all of us. And when we do things like that, we cause the rest of the world to realize, hey, these people don't have justice. These people doesn't uphold justice. God is a God of righteousness. He's a God of justice, a God of holiness. So I am against the injustice in this country, through the courts and people papers missing. They must get these papers. They must put things right. St. Lucia, let us stand up and tell our Prime Minister and ministers of government that is not their backyard. That is not all your own personal affairs there. This is our country. And you must do things as people that are responsible for all of us. So when you're changing the laws as you please, it was 13 years for consent.
The law was
16.
the law was not changed by the Prime Minister. It was changed by the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court.
Exactly. But if we don't agree to it, it cannot enforce it in our country. We can decide we don't want it.
Well, we can challenge. The government can challenge it. That's what the government can do. They can challenge it.
And that is what we want our government to do. We want Mr. Pierre to stand against it. St. Lucia will not be a party to it. Let other nations of the Caribbean be a party to it. But we will not be a party to it. So when God judging for that, we will not the judgment.
Hello,
so this is what I'm
continue.
Anyway, all I'm saying, God is against it. The Bible says in the mouth of 2-3 witnesses, something is established. Anything we sign, it is established. The witness is established in the mouth of 2 or 3 truthful witnesses. I am a witness for God today. that we as a people in St. Lucia is not in favor of what the Supreme Court is doing, because they are doing that because they want to please the larger nations of the world that have already corrupted themselves with Mystery Babylon. We will not be a party to it. And I want our leader to know, as a people, under God, as a Christian nation, we are against it, and he should stand against it.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution. So let's hear the Prime Minister again. In case you missed it, the Prime Minister reacting to this decision by the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, the ruling to strike down the laws on gay sex.
Well, the government will follow the dictates of the court. And if you realize that we've always said, and all that, when there was all that confusion about the RICO case, we always said, let's wait for the courts. That's always been our position. We mustn't forget our positions. During the RICO case, when anybody tell me, when anybody said, do this, I said, let's wait for the courts. And as far as that's regard, the government will respect the rulings of the courts. And the Attorney General will take the steps that are necessary to ensure that the ruling of the courts takes place.
Prime Minister and National Security Minister, Mr. Philip J. Pierre. Let's continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, as it relates to the recent pronouncements by the police, rather unfortunate as they may be, I have a few questions. Where is Kimberly Leon's husband, and what is his current status in the police force? Is there any truth to the current Commissioner of Police being on vacation until September? Well, that I can answer, yes. If so, how convenient to practically abandon ship in the midst of this mayhem? If this is the case, it shows a lack of leadership and accountability. Finally, are we now to expect and or anticipate the same outcome as it relates to the pending toxicology report for Tyson? Questions being asked, and we just relayed that to you. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Whether SLP or UWP, the government has gained in the Buggery law story. And let's see, another WhatsApp message. Office, Trump himself said he recognizes marriage between a man and a woman. Nothing to do with two males or females. Plus, the African countries stood up to the pressure from the Biden administration. And some more of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there, who is acting as commissioner, as the substantive holder of that post is on vacation? I think it might be Mr. Shalry or Mr. Ronald Phillip. And let's see if we have some more of your messages. Somebody says there, so what waiting on the courts have to do with the RICO case, which the Prime Minister referenced? 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, 716-2026. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, is a long message, I'd like to raise a concern about the prolonged process involved in firearm license applications in St. Lucia. With the rising levels of violent crimes across the island, it is concerning that law-abiding citizens who seek to protect themselves and their families are left waiting months, sometimes years, for approval. Why should a citizen with a clean record, no criminal background, and a valid reason for self-defense be delayed by bureaucracy? While I understand the need for thorough checks, the process should not be so slow that it leaves honest people vulnerable. In my opinion, every responsible law-abiding citizen should have the right to legally own a firearm, particularly in times like these. It's time we have a serious conversation about public safety and the right to self-defense. Commissioner Guard, serve the people. We have a call. Let's go to that call. Good afternoon to you. NewsSpin, you are on the air.
Hi, Tim. Good afternoon to you and everyone in St. Lucia.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, my brother, I am very, very taken, and I listened to what you played there from the Prime Minister. And we in this country there will not sit down and accept the Prime Minister is trying to pass that law and hiding behind the name of the court and saying that. We have always been saying, let us wait on the courts, you know. Let us wait on the courts, you know. We cannot wait on the courts. Who are the courts? The courts are men that, just like us, and women that are sitting in capacity and position that is being managed and is being overruled by financial other departments that are really trying to penetrate the dirty way for other countries and manipulate them and have them into mental slavery. We cannot hide behind those departments. We need the Prime Minister to determine and to come and to clean up this statement he said there, because what he's saying there is condoning whatever decision the court has taken over our rights in this country. Now, the Prime Minister have an employment for 5 years, including all these men that we have selected there. And they are running the country like they're there for the next 5 years, or they're there for the next coming 5 years, and they are sure of that. And this is why, that's the reason why he wants something all, so that he will not come to the nation and he will not have the need to be questioned, and they will just pass what they're doing and just do what they're doing without consulting the population. I would like to let all these men know that they were little boys at one time in the hands of women that gave birth to them. And there's a big kick because there is a big picture in this message. Now, we are only referring to this thing on the level of it, on the surface of it, and calling it a name and giving it a description. But this law is fundamentally against women. This law about homosexuality is directly giving women cancer of the cervix. Because us men, knows that when we are discharging, we having a suction taken into our body. This is how we get in syphilis. This is how we get in John. This is how we having something in us that will connect with us and tell us that the woman is pregnant in the next 2 weeks. It makes us get sick. It makes us get vomit. That thing we're sucking from the woman. When we are discharging, and we're discharging in the back of a man that is not control of his system, we know that our system does not send us. We don't go to the toilet by our own minds. It's our own system inside of there that doing its thing and send us to the toilet when it wants. Sometimes if we go on our own, we have to force and stay and do nonsense by ourselves and nothing can come down. So even in these men participating in this activity, they are actually sucking waste from behind men, and they're going and distribute it inside of women, because these men are not deliberately only dealing with men. When they pass that law to say it's a group of men that is somewhere in their bedroom doing something and they not come and deliver other people. No, these men are getting a kick. When they come from there, they don't even wash their penis, and they want to go to a woman to get the real kick out of the evil that they are doing. So we need the women's society to rise in St. Lucia. The lady who called a while ago, that she spoke very beautifully. We need the Cancer Society to rise against this present organization that is ruling this country, and we need to kick them out of office. Listen, this time is not just labor kicking, Lebanonians will be kicking labor out of office. It is Christianity kicking labor out of office, and they have to come out under these conditions, under what is taking place in St. Lucia. Why a tin of tuna fish in Barbados is $3, $3, and in St. Lucia it's $6. It is. I just came from Barbados in April. It is the same massy that is in Barbados, the same massy that is in St. Lucia. Why a bag of lentils, a little bag of lentils, is $5 in St. Lucia at Massy, 5 and change. And you come and talk about taking away 12%, when Massy in Barbados is even further to get to south in the coming and distribution to point to point geographically. Coming to St. Lucia is faster than going to Barbados. So if they want to take things into consideration, our destination is closer and faster because we're in the top of center thing. So why prices, an apple in St. Lucia is $6, and it in Barbados it is less, almost $1.50. What nonsense is taking place in this country? Why are these men allowing a monopoly to operate in this country in the supermarket business? And they are actually taking advantage of the population. They're going January. Look, they're coming in Miku, and just now, so there's not even the local drivers, bus drivers that will have people to transport going to Viewfort, that will affect them. So listen to me, we have a problem in this country, and we have to take out labor from office, because you see, the Prime Minister said something earlier on, and in his preamble, he said 1, and then he went to 5, and he said 5 is if you come out in politics rich, you volley. If you come out in politics, rich or wealthy, you stole, you're a thief, you're a crook. So, Eli, so what you think, Tim, about what is taking place there? We need to stand up and we need to have a march against this homosexual law, and we are not condoning that in St. Lucia. We are not allowing that to pass by the Supreme Court, because the court is not supreme. In that category, the court cannot be supreme. And these men that there, this is a law against women. We need to have a march, we need to stand up, and we all need to vote. Both Labour itself, Labourians have to actually take off Labour in office this time, because they are Christians, and this is a Christian nation. Listen, this thing will bring war on the ground, this thing will bring bloodshed, and if they don't do something about it, it will get very, very fucked up. Now I tell him, Philip J. if you're allowing that dirtiness to take place in the country, you see them man that they're on the street, you see the youth man that have all the guns in the ground, they will stop pointing them guns at innocent little boys like them, and they'll start pointing it after these men, because these men they are ensuring crime taking place in the ground. Listen, do you really believe they want to stop the crime team? How will they get the blood? The blood they promised to give there to continue the business. How will they get it if they stop the crime? Listen, let's be realistic, Tim. This kind of situation, listen, we have to get Labour out of office, and we will do it this time. And we cannot wait for the next 21 days for him to call elections for us to demonstrate to him. For Beaufort's sake, look at how Beaufort is. You in Beaufort don't have a community center. Look at how many community centers, Miku, Deriso, Labri, Bozile, everywhere have one. Why Beaufort Tongue don't have one? We have the evidence of the past 25 years, what the possibility and the intentions of Labour were. We could see it. So let us get up and let us stand firm and let us determine that these men getting out of office, if it's money they have to give, we'll take it, but we're voting them out. And this is not a joke, it is a very serious matter. This nation have to stand up. Christianity, I'm calling on the Catholic Church, I'm calling on Pastor Ben, I'm calling on all the departments in St. Lucia, including the Cancer Association, because this is a law against women. I'll be calling you back. Good time.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, sir. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called, only today we call it, NewsSpin. Back in just a bit.
We've just finished dinner, and before we all head off, let's do something very important. Let's go over our hurricane prep list. We need food, water, medicine, important documents. What else? Right, the generator. This year, I'm not taking any chances. I'm getting ours from Europa Hardware in Massad Grocery. Best prices around, and believe me, I don't want to hear, "Daddy, the Wi-Fi's down," when the power's out. Keep your family comfortable. Get your generator at Europa Hardware. Call us today at 452-0763. Europa Hardware, located in Massad Grocery. We service what we sell.
Prepare for the hurricane season by ensuring trees and other objects on your property won't get tangled in overhead wires. Be careful. Ensure ladders and tools don't come within 10 feet of power lines. If a tree is near electrical lines, don't try to trim it yourself. Contact Lucelec at 452-2165 or 454-6617. Be smart, stay safe.
Tired of sky-high bills and a planet on the brink? It's time to go green without burning your pockets. At First National Bank, we are here to make saving the planet affordable. Whether you're installing solar panels, purchasing a water tank, upgrading to an inverter AC, or buying a hybrid vehicle, we've got the green to help you go green. Fast approval, low interest rates, and Mother Nature approved. Your future self will thank you. Visit firstnationalbankonline.com or call 455-7000 for more information to help you turn your green dreams into clean realities. First National Bank, here for you.
It's in the feeling in our we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong, no matter what, we keep things flowing.
Carnival just got crunchier with KFC. It's time to fet, win, and feast with the Carnival Crunch Box. For just $30, get a big crunch or zinger sandwich, 3 crunchy strips, a dipping sauce, regular fries, a 16-ounce soda, and a biscuit. But wait, that's not all. Every Carnival Crunch Box gives you a chance to win big. Promotion runs June 1st to July 20th. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
At La Clinique de Corps, your health comes first with St. Lucia's only advanced 1.5 Tesla MRI, delivering safe, radiation-free imaging aligned with World Health Organization and international standards. Not sure if you need an MRI, CT, or ultrasound? Our expert in-house doctors guide you so you get the right scan the first time. One accurate scan can change everything. Your peace of mind starts here. Get $50 off all consultations with our doctors now through July 31st. We're UHC approved and accept all major insurances. Visit us in Castries or Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps. Advanced care, local access, your health reimagined.
In the blink of an eye, disaster can strike. Are you ready? When the winds rage and the rain pours, will you be prepared? Don't let the next hurricane catch you off guard. At MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt, we understand the importance of preparation. From generators to plywood, we have everything you need to weather the storm. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt today and make sure your family is safe and secure this hurricane season. Play it safe. Get prepared.
Yes. That was St. Lucia Top 5 for Carnival 2025. Yes. Welcome back to Real Men Take Charge, guys. Real Men Check Up.
To all my listeners out there, visit a men's health clinic in your area today.
PSA checkups are now free.
It's private, it's quick, it's efficient, and convenient.
Music touches the soul, but health keeps the rhythm going. Fellas, it's time to check your PSA levels. It's free, it's simple, it can save your life.
Brothers, do you not know that your bodies are the temples of the Holy Spirit? Let us be wise stewards of our lives. Prostate test saves lives. Let us not wait until it is too late.
To be a champion, you need to show up for yourself. I'm encouraging every man to take the step. Get checked. Stay strong. Do it for the team. Do it for your family.
My daddy is a hero, and I want him around for a very long time. Daddy, if you care about me, please take care of your health.
I faced colon and prostate cancer head on, and I'm still standing. Early detection saved my life. If I can do it, so can you. Don't wait. Get tested. It's free, it's simple, and it will definitely save your life also.
Real men.
Real men.
Real men take charge.
Real men check up.
The Republic Bank CPL is here, and the biggest party in sport just got bigger. This August, all roads lead to Darren Sammy Cricket Ground as the St. Lucia Kings light up the island with 5 explosive home games from August 23rd to 31st. Every six, every wicket, every roar from the crowd is a shot of pure Caribbean adrenaline. So grab your tickets now at cplt20.com or at your local box office. It's time to turn up for the biggest party in sport.
This is NewsSpin, the most monitored talk show in the world. This month, La Clinique du Corps is offering a $50 discount on all doctor consultations. Visit us today and take advantage of this promotion. Don't you miss it. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Tim, how you doing?
I'm okay, Rick Wayne. How about you?
Did you have a fine time celebrating being black and free?
For me, every day is Emancipation Day, Rick.
Every day is Emancipation Day. Okay.
Every day.
As I take it you were bolstered up by our Prime Minister's encouraging speech?
No. Lackluster speech. And let me just take the opportunity, Nedrick, because, and I know you can recall, and many people who are watching and listening to this program were familiar with life in St. Lucia a few decades ago, will tell you, whenever a prime minister advertised that there would have been an address to the nation, in some instances, our streets were empty because people went home. Those who did not have television in those days wanted to listen to it on the radio because the prime minister has something substantial, something important to reveal to the nation. These days, what you get is just kind of a watered down kind of address. And I am afraid that because of this, very soon people will not take time off their busy schedule to go home, etc., to invest the time into listening to the Prime Minister's address to the nation. It's not worth the time.
Are you saying they're doing that now? You said very soon.
Very soon, because increasingly you spend your
saying
time listening to the Prime Minister, and nothing comes out of it, nothing of note,
So
nothing
are
of
you
interest.
saying that right now they do listen? Is that what you're saying?
Another significant number, an insignificant number of people are listening.
I just want to know. But you know, that's not what I call.
But you're pretending not to know, Rick. All right? You're pretending not to know.
Tim, believe you me, there ain't nothing what I do that's pretend. It is for people sometimes to read between my lines. Sometimes it's better to be subtle. That is what I'm doing. I never pretend, and I never say anything that is meant to be only a joke. And I want to say that, even though it may sound like a joke, sometimes the joke is on us, and I want to underscore that too. Okay? I take this country very seriously, Tim. I take very seriously. I am in my twilight years, and I take very seriously the memory of the last days of Derek Walcott and the things I spoke to him about St. Lucia and his regrets. And then I think about George Odlum, who has his ups and downs, and all of those heroes in one way or another, or if not heroes, people worth remembering, all of whom made a contribution to this country in one way or another. And I'm not going to be here to judge who was great and who was not great. That is for our country at different places in schools, debates, discussions to determine who did great, who did not so great, who, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we have a lot of names in Little St. Lucia that are worth framing. Have you ever listened to Belen John's recorded last words?
Yes, I have.
Well, all of those things are worth exposing to your listenership, whether on News or on Newsmaker Live, and bring a guest on to take it on and whatnot. That is the kind of education we need right now.
You need to return to your perch at DBS Television on a Thursday evening and host Talk. Okay, Rick?
I am very happy on
NewsSpin.
NewsSpin. I have made a lot of friends on NewsSpin. I have learned a lot about the culture of NewsSpin. I have learned a lot about the kind of humor. Remember when I used to curse everybody on NewsSpin?
Yeah.
I now, if you were to watch me at home, you'd hear me laughing my head off at the strange kind of humor we have. I don't know anywhere in the world that has that kind of St. Lucian wit. But all of that are things for us to discuss in between depression. Now, Tim, I just want to remind you of something here. Just bear with me. You remember a little while ago, Tim, I said to you that we were all busy digging the graves of future generations by our complicity.
Yes.
In the same way that our parents didn't do anything about a number of things, and they in effect dug graves for us, so are we digging the graves of future generations. I remember saying that distinctly to you on your show. You don't remember that?
Yes, I can recall, yes.
Oh, thank you.
And you would have made that statement even prior to that on Talk as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Chairman, let me remind St. Lucians of this. When plunder becomes a way of life, for a group of men in society. Over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it. I read again quickly. When plunder, it is plunder. When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in society, over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes plunder and a moral code that glorifies plunder. You with me?
Yeah.
Are you aware? Do you recall, rather? It was quite famous. A court case involving drug traffickers from Venezuela for coke, and it turned out in court that what was thought to be cocaine turned out to be what?
Powder. So powder, I think
Flour.
it was. Flour. Okay.
Flour.
Yeah.
I wonder how many St. Lucians know that, and if it is worth reminding him of that, because it tends to show we are where we are, not because of what happened today or this morning or yesterday, but what we have been tolerating and been complicit with for years. Now, that case I just talked to you about, there was actually an investigation ordered by the office of the DPP and a report done on it, and I can bet you've never heard of it, you've never seen it, etc. But it's part of my files. So nothing that is going on here right now is new. It is just that in the natural order of things, horrible things that are not attended to tend not to get better, but to get 100 times worse. And the worst we are facing now is deadly. Deadly. Almost everything we talk about now is deadly. You go out in the boulevard at the wrong time, late in the night, that's a deadly adventure. You are in the by Derek Walker Square in the afternoon, maybe with your little daughter taking a little ride, or with a couple of friends enjoying a joke. That is a deadly undertaking at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You are driving your car, just going to work. That is a deadly undertaking. You with me what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody is safe in the country. As if that were not bad enough, more and more, it has been shoved down our throats that anybody can kill anybody in the country and get away with it without even a trial. Without even a trial. We cannot, we have no good reason to trust the office of the DPP, because if we have to go along with what what's the lady's name? Deloni's mother.
Mary Williams. Mary Williams.
If we have to go along with what she has been telling us over and over and over on your show, on her one-man demonstrations and all that kind of stuff, if we are to buy that, we have no choice but to say the DPP's office has been lying to her all these years. Women, that the system has been shoving it to her, not yesterday or last week, but ever since the thing happened, the death of that young woman preparing for bed.
Kimberly De Leon.
Yes, Kimberly, with her 2 little girls. I want all the women listening to this to put themselves in this, what's the name? I keep forgetting her first name.
Kimberly?
Kimberly. I want every woman who just had a child, who has a child 2 years, 3, 4 years, in love with their child and everything, to imagine herself out of nowhere getting shot in the head, possibly in view of the children, because we don't know any better on that. We heard about a particular case that was about to be reopened because the police had found compelling new evidence and they were going to have an inquest into it. You remember that case?
Which one?
Little while ago, we were promised that both by the DPP's office and by the police. Am I right?
Which particular case?
a case involving Beige.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
There was an inquest. Have you heard any more of that?
No, nothing at
The
all.
answer is no. And all of that we have embraced as normal living, Tim. So when now we hear that at least 2 controversial homicides, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say murder. The safest thing is to say homicide, but because of the circumstances, let's not fool ourselves. We know damn well those people who were killed were murdered. Okay? It's when we're laying the charges that we decide on whether homicide or whatever it is. But as ordinary people and not lawyers, what we think of were those people who were killed.
Yes.
They were murdered. They were not homicided. Okay? So, I wonder if we were not all along expecting to hear from the police something along the lines of what we were told.
I think some of us were expecting it.
A casual message that a human being shot, a young woman, a young mother shot in the head as she is preparing for bed. All the different stories that were going on at the time immediately and for quite a while until we chose to put it out of our mind because that's dead already. Well, that's never dead already. It comes back and kicks us in the ass like we just been kicked in the ass by news. Well, I can't go any further with that because we've lost the key evidence and the mother has been informed. The mother has been informed. Nobody, even with the people, and I listened to all the people calling before I had something to say. Even if whether or not Vern God calculatedly decided when to make that statement and to disappear, it's almost irrelevant. Because when the police chief is not there, there's supposed to be somebody holding the office of police chief. And I cannot allow myself to believe a matter of such importance, the details are known only to the police chief himself. In other words, the hierarchy of the force are in a position to answer to the public for key evidence in a murder involving people close to the police force, right?
Yeah.
And to just and say, well, he's not there, and no reporter, no pressure from the people, no popular demand for whoever is holding the guard's position to give us an answer that is reasonable. Who is in charge of taking care? Because that report I just told you there goes into detail about who is in charge of coke, exhibit of coke and other things that are done at the forensic place, the forensic lab. That's where they keep certain exhibits. So somebody is responsible for exhibits in any case, Tim. And somebody, we don't have to have an investigation of who it is. And I put it to you, Tim, that information has been available for years, even while they were misguiding and giving the mother, the grandmother, false hope regarding justice. You understand me clearly?
Absolutely.
The matter of this other guy and the noose again involves the police. I don't want to go into all that again. I want to come back to the fact of the quality of people that we are, including the freeing up of the bullion business. Including that. Do you have any details as to how this case got before the Supreme Court?
It have been as a result of action taken by what? This
No,
activist
I don't
group?
want to speculate. Do you have any detailed information?
I don't.
Good. You would imagine a law that has been on our books for all of those years, maybe a century, perhaps more. that was which was never hinted to the public that this was being looked at with a view to determining its constitutionality? Have you ever heard any word in that?
No.
We've heard every name called renegades, crooks, all kind of names, fucker, all that kind of stuff. We hear all these things from Parliament. Something as important as that, not a word, not a word, not a word, Kim. I keep telling you, we have found ourselves. You know, the Prime Minister said something which I think should be discussed at another time. That our criticism of the Nigerian president was a strong indicator of how much we hate ourselves. Now, that's worthy of some discussion. It really is. But the matter of we hating ourselves, I have long been convinced of that, you know. We are an amoral people. We pretend to have morals. We have none. Because we cannot allow human beings to be shot down like dogs and manacles and all kinds of whatever and not be moved. Not be moved. We have not heard anything really as a strong thing from the opposition, though they have talked about it. And we certainly have had nothing. We are undeserving from the government on it. Nothing. I wanted to at this point, and I'll be further into it when we have more time, Miss Alison Jean, who I'm not her biggest fan. I've criticized her quite a while. But she, I have to give Jack his jacket, I think was the first person, and definitely the first woman, to come out and express how she felt about the tampering, is how she put it, with key evidence in those cases involving the police. She made some very strong statements on that. And I want to applaud her for that, you know. Well, not a word from the Women's Affairs Office, not a word from from Crisis Center, not a word, not a word, not a word. Just like there was nothing from the woman who was shot pregnant.
And we need to stop saying the pregnant woman shot, because let's refer to her by her name.
Exactly.
And,
I apologize, but that's because I don't.
And her name.
But it's all.
Hold on, Rick.
Goes to show again.
Hold on, Rick. Her name is Troya St. Martin. Okay, Troya St. Martin, and the baby who died in the process was a girl.
Okay. Now, Tim, I'm glad you pulled me up on that, because I got to make a point on that. You know how detailed I am.
Mm-hmm.
But if there had been any real talk, we would all know those names backward, like we know about Giselle Georges and Valinda Joseph. The reason we know those names, because at the time, every week there were in-depth articles on those killings. Remember that?
Yes.
There's nothing. The whole idea now is to hide it. The police can't talk. If you talk, one minister or another is going to go unashamedly and go on the television or elsewhere and attempt, because they're so ignorant, they don't know they're spitting at the sky or maybe pooping at the sky. And in other words, it falls right back in their face. But they have the audacity, and they're stupid enough to go on and criticize you for standing up for the rights of people who don't have a situation where they can speak for themselves, or the scores of dead people killed, violently killed, that we have forgotten about. No trial, no resolution, just forgotten. Forgotten. If you were to go over the last 10 years, make a list, you will see that even the parents forget after a couple of days. God, that's where we're living, Tim. And you've given me enough time, so I will stop there for now. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Rick. You just heard there from Rick Wayne on this NewsSpin program. So the lady, pregnant woman who died, was shot and killed along with her baby. Her name is Troya St. Martin. Troya St. Martin. Her baby made a call a few hours ago and discovered that the baby was a baby girl. All right, so let's conclude We'll be hearing about this Ted Cal song in just a moment. But first, we have our NewsSpin question of the day. The NewsSpin question of the day reads, what say you to the mothers of Kimberly De Leon and Shakadan Daniel? What say you to the mothers of Kimberly De Leon and Shakadan Daniel? And the NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day reads, Irish president urges the United Nations to intervene in Gaza, citing destruction of an entire people. Irish president urges UN to intervene in Gaza, citing destruction of an entire people. And now this track that we made reference to on the broadcast yesterday, those of you who have not heard it, let's take a listen.
I know you want to come in the race, Officer Cal. Your eye is fixed on Bellevue, Pero and Grace, Officer Cal. But the deal not set with Allen yet. Think it hard, brother, you might regret. If you think you so bad and rough, come take some licks in your Fort North. Tell Flambeau to bring him come. You cannot hide him for too long. All over his head, we beating the drum. Nuka batambu aletet gal, batambu aletet gal. Nuka batambu aletet gal, batambu aletet gal. Stop hiding and bring him come. Stop hiding and bring him come. Stop hiding and bring him come. Let him feel the Musa drum. Nuka batambu aletet gal, batambu aletet gal. Nuka batambu aletet gal, batambu aletet gal. Even if your name is Cal, Xavier or King Kakal, we beating you for quarry and go and join your cabal. Boodoo boodoo pop, boodoo boodoo pop pop, boodoo boodoo pop, boodoo boodoo pop pop. You boasting loud like you run the place, Officer Cal. But your roots not firm, you just want the space, Officer Cal. You eyeing that seat like it's ripe to pluck, but your Fort North not built on luck. If you stepping up with chest so high, come test your strength, let the voters decide. Tell Flambeau to bring him come. You cannot hide him for too long. All over his head, we beating the drum. Nuka batambu aletet gal, batambu aletet gal. Nuka batambu aletet gal, batambu aletet gal. Stop hiding and bring him come. Stop hiding and bring him come. Stop hiding and bring him come. Let him feel the Mosa drum.
Time for us to say goodbye to you. You've had enough of me and the callers and going through your WhatsApp messages and so on. You really need a break. We'll be back, God willing, tomorrow afternoon at 12:30. My name is Timothy Poleon saying goodbye.